up, beautiful jellyfish? It's Tracy, and today I'm going to be starting a series on my channel called Friday's Feature Cards, and the whole idea of this video, these videos really, is to just talk about like awesome magic cards. Maybe magic cards that you've never heard of before, maybe they're super popular, and kind of like my explanations as to like why. I think a lot of times in magic, cards kind of are like, this card's like, oh, this card's really good, and you're kind of like, hey, I don't really know why. I've done that with so many magic cards before. I'm like, I don't really understand why this card is as popular as it is. So these are kind of like my justifications, like why I think these cards are really awesome. And I'm going to be talking about a variety of cards from my different decks. So let's get started. So basically, with my modern deck, on the last video that I was talking about my modern deck, it's black-white tokens. And I haven't really gotten the chance to playtest it a lot, which has been really unfortunate. However, I playtested it just yesterday a couple of times, and with the changes, things are working out really, really well. And a couple of cards from the deck that are just really, really awesome in the deck is first Fall to the Archangel. This card is really, really awesome because if they have flyers or anything like that, like one of the things that I think is a really cool advantage of playing black-white tokens is that you have a lot of flyers, and not a lot of decks can deal with that. A lot of decks that are being played right now, you're dealing with things that don't have flying, so you have a really good advantage. But if they do have flying, you can give them Death Touch and Lifelink, which is super, super relevant. I was gaining so much life. There's one game I played, I had that, and then I had Sorin, Solemn Visitor, and I was just gaining I gained like 30 life or something. It was like the greatest thing. And I was like, anyone who says life totals are irrelevant, it depends on what you're playing, it depends on the matchup. Splinter Twin life totals are fairly irrelevant. Well, not on your end, but if you're playing Splinter Twin, you don't really care about your life total. But yeah, Sorin is just super good. He's kind of one of those cards that when you top deck him, you're never really not mad. You're never mad. Like, you're like, yeah, Sorin, because he gives you dudes if you need them, or you get the lifelink and the buff, which is just so relevant. And his ult, I've ulted him, and he is so devastating pretty much to like a lot of different decks, because any deck that runs kind of like a couple creatures, like if I'm playing against a deck who's like, you know, also running tokens or something, they're not really going to care too much about Sorin's ult. But like, if you're like not running a lot of creatures, you're like, oh my gosh, Sorin's ult can be so devastating because every upkeep they have to sack a creature. It's like, it's just so good. Yeah, those are two really like great standouts in my deck, and I'm just like, they work so well. And I 2-run Sorin and I 2-run Vault. I could potentially 3-run Vault, but I think that'd be a little bit clunky. Also, I do need white mana symbols pretty desperately, so I'd be a little bit hesitant to do that. But Sorin I 2-run of, and honestly, I could probably even get away with 3-running him. Right now, we're sticking with 2, and we're gonna see how that plays out, but right now, it's just working so well, and oh my gosh, Sorin is just like so freaking good. I'm so happy I put him in the deck. Okay, 2 other cards that are in the deck, that are just working really well. This is, I can't believe I'm even talking about this card because I can't believe I own this freaking magic card, but Thoughtseize. I feel like a cool magic player now because I own Thoughtseize. Like, woo, yay, it makes me feel excited. I don't know. Yeah, Thoughtseize is just really good. I'm probably going to be doing an entire video on Thoughtseize because I was very, very hesitant at first about, oh my gosh, do I run this, whatever, but let's be real here. If you Thoughtseize and you take like a Splinter Twin, you're like, yeah, man, I took 2 damage, but guess what? If you didn't take the Splinter Twin, you'd probably be dead. So like, this is super relevant. It's like one of those things that if you take a Siege Rhino, it's like, oh man, I'm taking 2 damage, but yeah, you're getting rid of a Siege Rhino, which is like, you're gonna take 3 damage when it enters, and then you're gonna take like 4 damage to the trample if you can't get rid of it. It's like, yeah, it's just like, Thoughtseize is just so good. It's like probably, if not the best removal hand destruction card probably out there right now. Yeah, okay, and then last card of my spirit deck that I want to talk to you guys about is a card that I actually originally ended up taking out for stuff. I think it was actually for the hand destruction cards, and I decided to re-put them back in because I took out Doom Travelers. This card is Beckon Apparition. This card is very underrated in my opinion. Not a card that you're going to see a lot. This card does a lot of work. There's so many reasons why I love this card. One, you have the option of paying white or black for that card, which is super awesome. My deck runs heavier on the white, but if you're a deck where you have a more even split or you lean more towards one color, it's really nice to have this option. Second reason I love it, it's an instant. So someone says, I'm gonna swing with my big scary dude, and you're like, nope, I'm gonna instant speed, play my spirit, and it's a 1-1, and I just blocked your 10-10. Like, you know, pretty good day, right? And second off, you get to exile a card from a graveyard. Even if you exile someone's fetch land, it's like, okay, yep, you exiled someone's fetch land, but you exiled someone's fetch land, or you exiled something that would help them get closer to Tasigur or a Murderous Cut. This card is so relevant. Alright, so the next two cards that I want to talk to you about are actually both angels, which is really interesting. Hold on, my camera is, there we go. Okay, the first, I have a 5-color EDH deck, which is like super fun, and basically the whole idea of the deck is it's like basically human tribal, but it's like human lady tribal. It's like a lady deck. Horde of Notions is my commander, and my deck is named Notions of a Teenage Drama Queen, which is super awesome. And I'm actually gonna do if you've ever seen Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen with Lindsay Lohan, on the cover of it they have like the 9 faces. So what I was thinking of doing is like photoshopping in like 9 different ladies that I have in the deck, and I thought that would be a really cool idea. Anyways, that's really not the point. The point is, this card that I have in the deck, she's super great. Bassandra, Battle Seraph. Card is very underrated in my opinion. It's just kind of like a 4/4 flying angel for 5, where players can't cast spells during combat, and then you can totally make someone attack if you want to, depending on your board. So like in this deck, I run like some cool stuff. I run like a Creepy Doll in this deck, which is like super fun if you play Bassandra, and then use like, I'm gonna make you swing, and then like you have a Creepy Doll, and then you can potentially blow up your creature, which is super cool. But yeah, she's really awesome. Again, I think a very underrated card in my opinion. And I mean, slow for a lot of formats, but like in EDH, she's like perfect. She's really great. And I don't have a lot of flying in the deck, so she's really awesome. Yeah. Okay, and the last card that I want to talk about on Friday's Future Cards is a card that completely saved my butt. Okay, so basically, this was probably the worst game of EDH I ever played. So I have an Avacyn Angel of Hope, Angel Tribal. If you can't tell, I'm a fan of tribal decks. Angel Tribal deck, and I am just drawing like no lands that entire game. It took me a very, very long time, so I literally had like nothing on the board. It was devastating. So my friend Raul is winning, and he is down to like 5 life or something. He's at 5 life, exactly. And so he ends up killing, like, my friends Paul and Justin were playing, and then he ends up killing them. And again, no one was swinging at me because they felt bad. They were like, Tracy, I feel really bad that you, like, don't have any lands. And I was like, it's awful, like, I can't do anything. And it was miserable. And, like, I have a lot of ramp in the deck, and, like, I just couldn't do anything. It was miserable. So anyways, so, Raul, figuring, okay, well, Tracy hasn't done anything this entire game, so I'm gonna kill Justin, and I'm gonna kill Paul. I'm at 5 life, I'm gonna tap out, and I'm gonna swing all of my creatures. That's gonna be a really great idea, right? Thinking he's got this game locked. So, it goes back to my turn whenever I play a land or something, and then it goes back to his turn, and he's like, okay, so yeah, he's tapped out or whatever. I don't even remember, like, how it went, if he killed them all and then he swung some at me. I don't really remember. But anyways, so he swings at me again, he's like, I totally won. I flash in Angel of the Dire Hour, exile all of his attacking creatures, he's completely tapped out, he's got no creatures left, I exile all of his attacking creatures, because he got way too excited, and like, oh, I totally got this game, and then I swing at him for exactly 5 damage and kill him. It was probably the greatest moment of my life, and I was like, this is so cool. And it was like, she's just so good. It's like, I love her. It's like, I love it because it has flash, and I feel like that's such an off-color thing for white to have. I feel like that's definitely more of a blue thing. But like, oh my gosh, she's amazing, and she's saved me so many different times. Yeah, it's 7 mana for a 5/4 flyer, but like, oh my gosh, her ability is just so relevant, especially if you have a board. And again, they get cocky and they think that they swing and they think they have you, and you just flash this in. It's a really, really cool combat trick. And it's really cool. I've become a fan recently of creatures who also act as removal, and she definitely does that. So I think she's just really cool. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. I'm hopefully going to be doing these videos every Friday. If I don't have them up every Friday, it's because I have work or something like that, and I play EDH on Thursdays, so that's when I kind of play a lot of my Magic and stuff like that, so that's kind of where I get, like, cards to talk about from. So, like, if I don't because I have work or something like that, I just won't have a video up, but hopefully we'll be getting this up every Friday. And they're going to be recent. They're going to be, like, recent, like, these are the cards over the past, like, week. Like, so from today on, to next Friday, it's going to be, like, cards that I've been playing that I was like, wow, this card is, like, super good. So, yeah, that's all I got. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, night, whenever you're watching this, and I'll see you later. Bye!